All right, so we got the APFT coming up for the majority of Florida National Guard soldiers. Typically, you do it December drill. A lot of people are probably doing it this upcoming weekend. They try to knock it out the first month of the fiscal year. But a question I get asked is, hey, what's your regimen? What is it that you do to bring you success in the APFT? To start with, when it comes to running, first off, running is always the most difficult portion of the APFT for whatever reason. Most likely it's because running is not something that you enjoy doing. That most folks enjoy doing. Why get out there and pound pavement, for 15 minutes or 20 minutes, whatever your time is, knowing that you're going to be tired the entire time, and you're constantly have to meet this time hack in order to pass. But when it comes to running, my recommendation and how I try to approach it is every run that you do is a run for time or a run for training. There's no such thing as a light day, hey, I'm just going to run, uh, do an easy run today or a really light run, go about 70%. No. Every single run should have the intent of improving how you did it last time. So if you're going to run 3 miles or you're going to run 5 miles, you're going to put some distance in so that 2 miles isn't too difficult. You you want to run those for time and try to get the best time possible each time you run, trying to pass the time that you got last time. So if you're running, a 5K or you're running 5 miles, then you want to try to accomplish those runs, get at least 2 to 3 of those runs in a week. I only run 4 days a week, so um, if I do a 3 mile run, which usually I'll do with a 5K just to add a little tenth of a mile just to give myself a little bit more. But I'll try to do that on a Monday. And then come Tuesday, I'll test myself and give myself the 2 mile test. Run as fast as I can, 2 miles, see what I come up with. Then on Wednesday, perhaps I'll do a 5 mile run or a 6 mile run so that I've built that endurance and gotten a very long run in. Then I also do sprints. Sprints are perfect to help build that time because you do these 6 mile runs so that you build that endurance, but you also have to do some sprint work to build that speed. And sprint work, when you think of sprints, you may think, 100-meter sprints, 200-meter sprints. No, I'm talking about quarter-mile sprints, half-mile sprints. So there's two ways that you can go about it. So you can do a mile as fast as you can, run a full mile as fast as you can, rest for about 2 minutes, then run a quarter mile, rest another 2 minutes, a second quarter, rest, a third quarter, and then a fourth quarter. So then you end up totaling about 2 miles. So you do that first mile, rest, and then you break up that second mile in 4 quarters. And you try to run it as fast as you can. So that's your sprint workout to help develop some speed. And I've come to find that it's very helpful. Another way, second way of doing the sprints is to do a quarter mile as fast as you can. Second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. So you do the first mile in the quarters. Then that second mile, you do it in half miles. So you do two separate half mile sprints. So again, sprint workout, great to develop that speed so that you end up tackling all angles. You've got sprints and you've got distance. So you get speed and you get endurance. So when it comes down to the PT test, the intent is that the PT test is your light day. So when all you have to do is a 2 mile run for time, it's considered somewhat of a light day. So to recap, as far as running, you want to get 3 to 4 runs in a week, all for time. Maybe do two separate 3 mile runs, or if you want to do a 3 miler and a 5 miler just to get some distance. Test yourself on the 2 mile each week, and then get some sprints in once a week as well. Now, when it comes to push-ups and sit-ups, push-ups is can be very simple to do. One of the things I like to do is I work chest twice a week. So if I'm working chest, I'm automatically going to incorporate push-ups because that's what we get tested on. So if I do 3 separate exercises when it's a day for chest, then what I'll do is I'll start with push-ups, then I'll do, say, bench press, maybe an incline press. The second time that week that I do chest, maybe I'll replace the bench press with the fly machine, or decline press, just something that constantly mixes it up and works every angle of your chest, so that when it comes down time for the PT test, every muscle that is utilized when you're working out chest is developed and ready for that PT test. If I'm doing just straight push-ups, then what I like to do is do a total of 120, and the goal is to do 50 straight. Just knock out 50, rest for a couple minutes, then come back to it, knock out 40, rest a couple minutes, then come back to it, knock out 30. 3 sets. Sounds simple, 3 sets, but when it comes to knocking out 50 push-ups, that first set is always the most difficult because you're having to knock out 50 total. And then the second set can be difficult as well because now you're a little bit tired. You just knocked out 50 push-ups a few minutes ago, and now you have to knock out 40 push-ups, so that can be difficult as well. But I've come to find that that's something that definitely helps me out when it comes to getting ready, push-ups wise, for the PT test, and it's something that you can do at any moment. You don't have to be at a gym just to knock those out. And again, the intent is that when it comes time for that PT test, it's easy to do. And when you do those push-ups, say you can't do 50 straight, or you get to that second set and you can't do 40 straight regular push-ups. There's no shame. I'm a firm believer that if you're knocking out those push-ups and you get to 40 that first set and you got 10 more you got to do, and you just can't get up anymore, drop down to a knee and keep pushing until you get to that magic number. So definitely no shame in that. Then as far as ab work, abs are one of those muscles that you can work out every day. You can't work out every muscle every day. Eventually you get muscle atrophy and you're defeating the purpose. But abs is something that I love to work out every day and that you can work out every day. It's a fast twitch muscle, so I can work it out every day. So what I like to do is always start with either 100 sit-ups straight or 100 crunches straight. Knock those out, then go into the plank for 2 minutes. That 2 minutes consists of 30 seconds straight on, 30 seconds on each side. So roll over to one side, do 30 seconds, the other side 30 seconds, and then the final 30 seconds straight on. And round it out with working the lower abdomen muscles, which is 1.5 minutes total of 30 seconds of leg raises, straight into 30 seconds of standard flutter kicks up and down, and then a final 30 seconds of flutter kicks but side to side with your legs. And if I'm really feeling like continuing on with ab work, then I'll grab a 10-pound weight, do some Russian twists as well. So try to do maybe 20 on each side, just to work those obliques as well. So those are things that I find helpful with the PT test. Again, what works for some may not work for all, but if this is something that you could incorporate into your workout regimen and it can help you gain a few more points, then more power to you, and that's what it's all about. So, because you never want the PT test to be something that you stress about. I mean, it's one things that can get you kicked out of the Army. You don't have to shoot, trust me. You don't have to know how to shoot. You can still stay in the military. You can fail marksmanship and still be in the military. But if you can't pass the PT test, you can't pass height, weight, because you're overweight or you have too much body fat, then you get booted out of the military because you're not meeting that particular standard. So the PT test should not be something that you stress about once or twice a year, depending on how often you have to take it. It should be something that when that comes, that's just a lighter workout for the day. So hope this helps you guys out. Hope